out, bro. Come on. Hey, I'm gonna take care of you, bro. Trust me. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. Hey, I'm gonna take care of you, bro. Hey, you're fine. Hey, let me help you. Let me help you. Drop it now. Shots fired. Shots fired. Officer needs help.
Today's video takes us to Los Angeles, California. Officers responded to a nearby convenience store where it was reported that a male had recently threatened the reporting party with a firearm. Upon their arrival, they observed said male, and then the interaction ensued. Now, most breakdowns, we usually define what is lawful and what is not, but we're here to dig a little deeper than that, to invoke thought and to create a conversation. I'm Sean Tyree. Welcome to Vest Life.
Hello? This is an emergency. There's a man with a gun. He was pointing at us.
What's the address?
83 North State Avenue. The police is just like nearby.
83. What did he do?
83 North State Avenue. He has a gun. He was pointing at us. We just ran, but he's there. There was another lady that he was pointing at too.
Where? Okay, is he black, white, Hispanic, Asian?
Oh, sorry, say that again.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, Asian?
He's white.
What color shirt and pants was he wearing?
Black. Yeah, I think he has a jacket. Black and
Black jacket?
Black pants. Yes.
Black jacket, black pants. Okay, stay on the line for me. I'm going to dispatch officers, okay?
Bold. He's bold.
Both?
He doesn't have hair.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't hang up. Don't hang up. I'm going to dispatch officers, okay?
Okay.
I saw that guy in all black right here, but I can't see. I just saw clothes.
So now we just heard the call. All right. They have a description of the person that they're looking for and a report of he had threatened multiple people with a firearm. And I just want to make a little note of that because when you've been doing law enforcement for so long, you get so many calls, some of this nature or plenty of this nature. And sometimes they end up being nothing, but then all it takes is that one time. And next thing you know, you get that old crap factor, right? And I want to note that because oftentimes when you've been doing law enforcement for over 10 years or even 15 years, you become as what you were known to be as complacent. And what does complacency look like? This is what complacency look like. When you have this type of call and instead of being ready and prepared, you're riding around and you still have your Yeti in your hand while you're trying to observe and look for said suspect.
That would be inconceivable.
And complacency can happen so often because you get these type of calls and I would say maybe 99 out of 100, they're often fraudulent. There's lack of validity once they get into the area, but it's that 100 time that it ends up being something.
But I can't see. I just saw clothes.
Oh, yeah, bald too.
Yeah. Oh, he's got tattoos all over his face, bro.
Hey, don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move.
X46, we're code 6 on the suspect. Give him backup. 415 man with a gun. We're right in front of Nate's Cafe.
Reach for that gun.
Lift up your hands. Hands in the air.
Hands in the
All the way up. All the way up.
Brother.
All the way up.
Hey, can you leave me alone, dog? I'm on probation.
Inconceivable.
Hey, don't move. Don't move. Don't move.
That's the shot.
Don't move. Don't reach for it. Okay, we got to go less lethal. Okay. Go.
Inconceivable! You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
He's got a gun, guys.
So if you're wondering, why didn't they shoot? Why didn't this guy get some rounds put into him right then and there? Why did they let him escape? And it's not just California, right? Even though this happened, this can happen in any state because you have to remember, all right, there's case law because he had the firearm in his waistband, you have those two things, imminent and immediate, that officers abide by, right? Those prongs, which is stemming from Tennessee v. Garner. And if you pull that up, I'll show that here is Tennessee v. Garner as far as that case law. But they didn't shoot because even though he had the firearm in his waistband, he never reached for it and he never intentionally drew it out, which would have caused, like if he would have reached for it or even gave some type of further movements as if he would have reached for the firearm, guarantee rounds would have went his way. But the fact that he didn't, they couldn't open fire. Lawfully, they couldn't open fire. So that's the reason why he was able to flee. And luckily, if he was fleeing in that direction, there was nobody there, possibly if he's trying to hold somebody hostage. And if they did fire, they still have to be wary of the backdrop. All right. Officers have to be wary of the backdrop because where your rounds go, you have to be accounted for those rounds. And if you strike an innocent pedestrian or civilian, you're not going to get away with just saying, hey, I saw this threat. So that's the reason why they didn't shoot.
He's got a gun, guys.
Oh, shit. Hey, drop it. Yo. Hey. Fuck. Hey, drop it. Hey. Drop it now. Drop it. I'm going to shoot you. Drop it! Drop it now! 5, he's going down Northgate, 83. Get on the ground now! Get on the ground now! Drop it! Drop it now! Drop it now!
Air Force One.
Drop it now! I'm gonna shoot you!
I'm doing this.
Drop it! It's all right! It's all right! Drop it now! Drop it now! It's okay! I'm gonna help you! Hey! It's not a big deal! Nothing happened! Hey! Nothing happened! You're not in trouble! You're not in trouble! Okay, drop it! Okay, drop it! Drop it or you're not in trouble right now! I don't want to hurt you! Don't be stupid! Don't be stupid! Drop it now, bro! Come on! Hey! I'm gonna take care of you, bro! Trust me! Trust me, bro! Trust me, bro! Hey! I'm gonna take care of you, bro! Hey, you're fine! Hey, hey! Let me help you! Let me help you! Drop it now!
That brief incident, if you saw where the slide locking back, and I just want to put a note to that for those that don't know the reason why his slide on his firearm end up locking back, or what you would say is getting out of battery. So if a firearm gets out of battery like it did, all right, good on him between racking it or re-racking it to putting it back in battery. Some procedures are to tap and rack it to put it back in battery. But the reason why it was out of battery, all right, is usually because the grip is too weak or too loose. So that recoil, the firearm needs a strong grip. As it fires, the slide racks back, which ejects the round or the shell casing, and then it injects the next round. So if you don't have a firm grip, it's going to keep the slide locked back, which causes it, as you heard me say before, keeping it out of battery. So good on him by realizing still stand engaged, and immediately, this usually happens with training, that he noticed it right away and put it back in battery.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Drop it now. Shots fired. Shots fired. Officer needs help. Get down. Get down. Hey, drop it! Get on the ground now! Drop it!
Air Force One.
Drop it now! Drop the gun, I'm gonna shoot you! It's all right, drop it now! Watch crossfire! Crossfire, crossfire! Up, 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 up! It's not a big deal, nothing happened, hey! Nothing happened, you're not in trouble! You're not in trouble. Okay, drop it. Drop it. Drop the gun. You're not in trouble right now. I don't want to hurt you. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Drop it now, bro. Come on. Hey, I want you to take care of you. Hey, drop it. Drop it or I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to take care of you, bro. Hey, let me help you. Let me help you. I got it. Get it. I'll take care of you, bro. Hey, you're fine. Hey, let me help you. Drop me now. Shot fired. I'm shooting help. I got it. I'm gonna get him up. Get up, man. Get up. You okay? Yeah. You were shot or anything? No.
A couple things. One, you don't want to do blind shots. All right. You definitely want to be able to look through your sights. And I'm just speaking to the officer right here. When he came out, he ended up firing around in this suspect's direction. I understand the adrenaline is going, and what I'm saying right now resonates across the board for any officer, right? Just because you want to remain on the streets because you don't want to lose your job. And you don't want to hit an innocent bystander in the process. So you definitely want to understand your backdrop. There's always an emphasis on backdrop. But one of the bigger things right here, this officer right here, this right now, this is pure old school. And I say that just because his position, all the guns are back here. He's just barreling through. He's barreling forward. It makes you think of World of Warcraft, right? If you ever played WoW, straight Leroy Jenkins.
What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
All you officer needs help. Northgate and Tango, officer needs help. Northgate and Tango, shots fired. Any area in command of Tango Creek.
So if you saw there right there towards the end there, the suspect ended up tossing the firearm that he initially had towards the officers, disarming himself. And if you saw the other officer there with the less lethal, with the shotgun there, which is more likely a beanbag round, he was already running towards the suspect right as he was tossing the firearm, disarming himself. And then they end up tackling to the ground. And if most situations like that, it's somewhat of a dog pile. And even if you're the officer just arriving on the scene, if you're the third or fourth officer, this is what you say, finding work, right? Find something to do. That's either help subduing the person, grab a leg, grab an ankle if you need to. All right. But once he's detained, you see enough there, then you start canvassing the area, trying to look for either shell casings, because now the investigation starts. So you might as well get a jump on it to assist the primary officer or officers for that district. Now, when I showed that about the Leroy Jenkins veteran officers, right, pros and cons, and the pros and cons of the old dogs for the department, one, they are a wealth of knowledge, especially of old tactics, old school ways, getting your nose into it and just going right towards the fire, right? And nowadays, there's a little bit more tact to it. You know, the pace is often slowed down, and those are good and bad things. Sometimes it's really best to slow it down for officer safety, and sometimes you just have to get in and go get it. Now, I wouldn't recommend that for everybody, clearly, but this officer is probably what he's used to. He ran in, and I still got to give him kudos for that because it's not an easy thing to do to run towards gunfire. All the officers there, all the officers involved, it's not an easy thing to do to run towards gunfire. A lot of people shy away from it, and that's what makes law enforcement a very special job or a special career for people that get into it. It's not always about power, even though some people get lost in the sauce when it comes to power, right? But there are a lot of officers out there that do, despite having that power, they still put themselves in that type of situation and run towards the gunfire and have to show nothing but respect. And I have to ask you in the comments, right? Now that you get to observe so many body cam videos, what is your perspective on law enforcement? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand there are people who just clearly hate law enforcement, no matter the good they do, the bad they do. But I'm talking about the people that's independent and common sense right here, all right? That you can separate from good and bad, all right? We can call out the bad, and I'm definitely one to call out the bad, but I'm also there to call out the good, right? You can't be in this field for so long and don't see the good that officers do for the public and what they do for their communities. But let me know in the comments, what do you observe, seeing these Axon body cameras? Have that changed your sentiment at all? Are you finding anything informational that I'm providing for you? But I'm still going to continue to do. And to my subscribers, if you come across a video and you're confused or you're not sure why officers did something, I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. With that being said, if you learned anything from this video, be sure to drop a like. And like always, Jesus is the light of the way.